Good morning students. Welcome to the online teaching session of Academic World School, Mitra. This is my second lecture, you can see, on the same topic, business environment, and today's subtopic is dimensions of business environment. Now, my dear students, in my last lecture, I already told you about the business environment. I just recapitulated a little bit. A business environment is nothing but those forces, factors, individual institutions which are outside a business, outside an organization, but which can have its impact on any business. What does it mean? That means although these factors are outside a business, but it can have its impact on any business. And so a business institution has to continuously scan the environment to keep itself prepared and ready for those changes which may be coming. That means, in other words, it has to anticipate these changes by seeing the trends in the outside world. By outside world I mean outside the business, in the normal environment. And I already told you in my last lecture that there are some specific forces and general forces. Now, what were the specific forces? The specific forces were customers, suppliers, investors. Now, I also told you that these people, these factors, these points, these three, suppliers, investors and customers, they have their direct impact on any business. That means any change in their behavior can directly impact any business. But again, I also told in my last lecture that there are general forces. Now, what are those general forces? General forces are technical forces, social forces, political forces, economical forces, legal forces. These are also the forces which have its impact on a business. But this impact will not be immediate, will not be instant, will not be direct, but it will be rather indirect. That means within a very short period of time, it will have its impact. So, a business organization, a business house should be very careful. The moment it sees that there is some change, it should not wait, it should take a decision and adjust itself or adapt itself to the changing situations coming in the environment or in the outside situations. Now, here today is, as I already showed you, the subtopic dimensions of business environment. Here, just try to guess what are the dimensions of business environment. It's all the same. It's all the general forces. That means technical forces, technical environment, economic forces, economic environment, then social forces, social environment, political forces, political environment, and maybe legal environment or legal forces. Now this class, these general forces we will be studying as dimensions of the same thing. We will be studying as dimensions of business environment. Now, before I start, I want to write this on the board. So the first one will be, number one will be social environment. Social environment. Now the question is, what is a social environment? Try to think. What is a society? From the society it comes the social. Okay, what is a social environment? Try to think, try to understand. What is a social environment? It consists of those customs, traditions, systems, beliefs of the people in a society. Traditions, beliefs, thinking, of the people who are in a society. You know, this social environment has its impact on any business, because why I am telling? Why? Because every business is for the society, of the society, by the society. That means here is it. Every business is for society, of the society, and by the society. That means a businessman has to be in a society, because if he is not in a society, where will he do his business? He cannot go into the jungle and do his business. So he has to be in a society, of the society, by the society, and for the society. So if he is doing all these things, then he has to know what the society wants. And particularly in the Indian scenario, you see that there are a lot of traditions, beliefs, thinking, different dresses, different cuisines, different thoughts, different festivals, so on and so forth. So a business organization have to be very careful. Why? Because they have to keep all these things, you can see here, into mind before doing any business. Because these things can exert impact on the business. Just imagine, traditions, beliefs, thinking has different impacts. Suppose, let's take an example. In India, people enjoy the festival of lights, Diwali. So if an organization which prepares, let's say, for candles or these diyas, they have to be very careful, because they have to anticipate it. They know that these things are coming, this particular festival is coming. So beforehand, they have to start preparing and take decisions how to cope up with the markets. So I just told you one of the examples. There are many things which impact an organization which is from the society. So without a society, a business cannot survive. And the changes in the society, whatever changes is there, a business organization has to keep it in mind. Otherwise, he will be lagging behind. He will be falling short. Okay. Second one. The second one is economical environment. Economical environment. You guessed it right. Economical environment. Okay. Arthik Vatavaran. That's the way we call it in Hindi. Arthik Vatavaran. Now, what is it? Lot of changes happening in the economical environment of any nation, any country. All those forces which are having its influence on the economy of a country. Any forces. It may consist of GDP. You know that GDP, gross domestic product. It may include the per capita income, the productivity, the employment rates, the monetary and the fiscal policy of the government. And any organization cannot change this one. As I told you, my dear students, as I already told you, this environment an organization cannot change, but the organization has to change itself according to the changes in the environments. And these are the environments. So, let's see what are the different sort of economic environments. Number one, let's see, we'll write some points one by one. Increase in GDP. Increase in GDP, gross domestic product, Increase in GDP. What may happen? Try to think. What may happen if there is an increase in GDP? There is a rise, affects rise in disposable income. Rise in disposable income. And what happens when there is a rise in disposable income of the people? So the demand of the product also increases. Rise in disposable income of people results in increase in demand of products. Now, these products can be consumer durables, consumer non-durables. You know the meaning of durables? Let's say TV, television, music system, durable, which stays with you. Non-durables, which does not stay with you. What is non-durable? Let's say food items, foodstuffs. That is called non-durables. Anyway, I am not going deep into that. Second point. Did you guess it? What may be the second point? Decrease in interest rates. Decrease in interest rates results in, what will happen if there is a decrease in interest rates? That will be increasing demand for home loans and the borrowing of money. Once again, it may result in increasing demand of home loans and borrowing of money. Let's see once again. Decrease in interest rate. Suppose the interest rate decreases. What will happen? Results in increase in the demand of home loans. Suppose you are getting a loan where the interest rate is decreasing. Now definitely you will go for more loans. Definitely you will go for more borrowings. So the next point. What can be the other thing? GST affects the business. GST, goods and services tax. The GST, you know that 2 years before government brought this GST, goods and services tax, and almost all the business, all the industries are affected by this. They have to change their policies, strategies. They have to change their plans, and because this was put by the central government, now this was also one of the factors, one of the small things which came in the economical environment. Like this, there can be other points also. I am just rubbing it out. I am writing it onto the top. After C, I am writing here D. Demonetization. Demonetization measures where rupees 500 and rupees 1000, rupees 500 and 1000 currencies, notes were taken out from the market. What happens? What happened when the demonetization took place? People had tough time. This was an economic effect, economic environment. But people tried to cope with it. Every business had its own issues, but they tried to cope up with it. Now, it was tough, but still it was done. And it was believed that 86% of the currency was accumulated by the government on this. Next is number 5, banking reforms, banking sector reforms came through. Banking sector reforms came through. Now, what were these reforms? There were many attractive schemes by the government with attractive schemes, attractive schemes by the banks, which attracted many customers, and this was also one of the effects in the economical environment. So I just told you about 5 such things which had this impact. This was just an example. Now we will go to the third one. I am going to rub this part. I think we have just written it, and sometimes you pause the video to see these things. I am rubbing it out. So I am writing the third one. Okay, the third one is nothing but political environment. Political environment. Political environment. What do you call it? Political environment. Rajnitik Vatavaran. In India, very strong things. Political environment. Now, what does this constitute? Think over, guess it. This constitutes all those forces and factors which are concerned with the particular government's decisions, such as type of government in power. Now see, when there is a change in the government, there is a change in their ideologies, there is a change in their pattern of doing the work. Now the attitude of the government towards different people in the country, in the society, there will be policy changes and so on and so forth. This particular environment has lot of changes. This particular environment has lot of changes. What sort of changes? Has lot of impact, not changes, a lot of impact on the business environment. Okay. You see, there are certain factors like foreign policy of government. Can you name other things? What will be the political reason? Foreign policies. Then we have ideology of the political parties. This is one, we can tell at least one or two more. Then we have constitutions of the country, political stability, etc. Political stability, etc. Now just see all those things. I have just marked with asterisk mark here. Foreign policy of the government. Every government, when there is a change in the government, they have a different foreign policy. It does not exactly be the same. So these are actually the factors. Foreign policy of the government, it changes when the government changes in a country. Ideology of the political parties. Every political parties has their own ideologies which does not match. Okay, basic thing might match, but deeper things definitely does not match. We have a constitution of the country, and then the political stability. How much stable is the country? There are countries in the world which are politically unstable. So it has its impact on the business. And every business, you might be very clear with this, what I am trying to tell you. Every business should be scanning their environment in this sense also, political environment. That means they should anticipate what things are going to happen. Now, if they don't anticipate, what happens? They lag behind. They can't take a decision. It impacts on a business. So, in a nutshell, political environment, any organization should be very careful. They should see it and try to judge it, try to anticipate it. What are those changes so that their business goes on in a smooth way. Next, number 4. Number 4 will be legal environment. Legal environment. Legal environment. We may call it as Kanuni Mahol, legal environment. Now you know that the word legal comes from the word law. The word legal comes from the word law. Word legal comes from law. Law, legal. Okay, every business in any country, any business, you know that they have to obey the rules of the land. That means in which country they are, they have their own rules, own laws. So the business has to follow the laws of that particular land. That means particular country. Now, you understood this point. Wherever the business is operating, they have to follow the rules of the country or the laws of the country. So the business should be adequately knowing the rules of that particular country. Here, not rules exactly, it should be law of that country. It's not the rules. Every businessman should know the laws of the country. What should I be doing? What I should not do? So do's and don'ts as per the legal matters in that particular country. Now, in this, there are various laws by the Legislative Act, laws by Legislative Act, second, we have the laws licensing and foreign trade, licensing and foreign trade, Then we have the statutory warnings, Then we have the fourth, that is, we can call it as laws to keep check on advertisements. Let's study this now one by one. Laws by Legislative Act. Every country has its own legislative rules enacted. Every business has to be very careful. They have to follow these things. Licensing and foreign trade. You have to be very careful with this thing. Statutory warnings. What is a statutory warning? Have you seen sometimes there are some statutory warnings on certain things which are sold in the market? That means it is to be printed on the label of the product. Statutory warnings. These things, suppose for example, this particular product is injurious for health. This particular product is not good for human consumption. This causes cancer, like this sort of things. You have to be, these are statutory warnings put on the label of certain products. You might be guessing what are those products, and you might guess it correct also. Then we have the laws to keep check on the advertisements. Now, what are these laws which keeps check on advertisement? Remember that no advertisement of any intoxicants are to be given on the television or radio. That means advertisements of intoxicants are prohibited. It cannot be given in the television or radio for general public. Intoxicants, remember that. Second is, again, in the advertisement of certain products like life-saving drugs. Let's take for example life-saving medicines, life-saving drugs, life-saving pharmaceuticals, medicines. We call it pharmaceuticals and medicines. It is strictly written, dosage should be prescribed according to as per a registered medical practitioner only. It cannot be taken just whimsically by anybody. No, it is clearly written, a life-saving medicine, critical medicine, critical illness medicine, it should be prescribed by a registered medical practitioner only. So these can be the laws to check on the advertisements. And one more thing. So we just see that these things are so important. This legal environment is important, and an organization has to keep a strict watch on this environment only, because otherwise, again, this may have an impact on the business and has to take an action. Every business has to follow the changes in this legal environment and act accordingly. Now the last one is the technological advanced environment. Technological environment. Technological environment. We are just doing the last one. Technological environment. Now this might be very easy for you. What is a technological environment? Concerned with technologies, ever-ending, non-ending change in technology. You know that this environment is so critical these days that every time, even from just after few months to few months, there is a huge change in technology. Just imagine that cell phones 20 years back and the cell phones today. So much advanced cell phones are coming, high powered cameras, very wonderful configurations, wonderful screen resolutions. And you just imagine 20 years back or 25 years back, it used to be heavy. You did not have so many configurations, so benefits. You cannot have so benefits out of it just to call and send messages. But now technology is changing. So just I have given one example of cell phone. Like this, everywhere the technology is changing, and a business environment has to keep or maintain this organization has to maintain, has to find out the changes happening in the environment and take decisions accordingly. Otherwise, they lag behind, they fall behind, because technology as an environment, it does not stop. It goes on moving. So a company has to, accordingly to the change in the technological environment, has to adapt itself to the changes happening in the environment. Then only it can keep pace with it. Anyway, I have come to the end of this session, but I am still left with some case studies. So I'll just go with the case studies which is connected with this. Okay, I'll go with some of the case studies and let's see what are those. We're done quickly. The first one, case study 1. Remember, these case studies are very important. It will open up your mind when you have read this whole topic. This case study is from this topic. It will help you to more understand the topic. The Reserve Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India has reduced the CRR, cash reserve ratio, by 0.5% to control the recession. Now, question is which environment or business environment, which environment of business this is related to, or this is related to which environment? The Reserve Bank of India has reduced the cash reserve ratio by 0.5% to control the recession. Which environment of the business is it related to? Did you guess it? It's Reserve Bank of India. Okay, there are 4 answers. Answer 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. Okay, what are those 4? You have to select from these 4. Political, environment, social, environment, economical, environment, and technological environment. Okay, see A, B, C, D, 4. Now which one is the best? Reserve Bank of India has reduced the CRR. Definitely it is not of technological, it is not concerned with any technologies. It is definitely not concerned with social, there is nothing called social, there is nothing called political. It is the Reserve Bank of India. So this will be the answer, economical environment. Okay, next question. I will do on this side or maybe down side here. Case study 2. Introduction of mobile phones. Introduction of mobile phones have negatively affected the business. Affected the business of cameras. The business of cameras and watches it is related to. Now this is the question. Introduction of mobile phones, this is a situation. Introduction of mobile phones have negatively impacted or negatively affected the business of cameras and watches it is related to. Now the question is which this is related to which environment of business? Question is this is related to which environment of business? This is your question. I am giving you 4 possible answers. Answer A, social environment. B, technological environment. C, economical and political. Economical environment and D, political environment. So see, introduction of mobile phones has negatively impacted or affected the business of cameras and watches it is related to. So can you guess, is it a social one? No. Is it an economical one? No, it is not connected to the economy also. Is it a political one? No. Because when a mobile phone can take the pictures also, it can show you the time also. So the question says that due to the mobile phones, the sale of cameras has reduced, impacted, and the watches also. So this is mainly because of the technological changes. So this will be the correct answer. Technological environment. This is the correct answer. Technological environment. This is case number 2. We'll go with the last one. I am rubbing it out. Today's last case study. That is case study number 3. Case study number 3. Case study number 3. Okay. XYZ Rice Foods Limited. Remember, this company prepares rice, good quality rice. Rice Foods Limited is well known for producing rice. Is well known for producing rice. Okay. Next is, the sales have been falling down from the beginning of the year. The sales have been falling down from beginning of the year. The sales have fallen down. The managing director, Mr. Bose, the managing director, Mr. Bhuvan, Mr. Alok Bhuvan, Mr. Alok Bhuvan is worried about this situation. Is worried about this situation. Now, with a view to find the solution to the problem, with a view to find solution to this problem, he made a team to find out, the reasons for downfall of sales. The team conducted the survey. The team conducts the survey and comes with the following four reasons. The team conducts the survey. This particular team, which Mr. Alok Bhuvan has made, the team conducts a survey and come with the following four reasons for downfall of sales. Now, what are those 4 points? Number 1, on account of increase in the export duty, on account of increase in export duties made by the government, the foreign demand has gone down. The foreign demand has gone down. Number 2, due to availability of other eatable substitutes, due to availability of other eatable substitutes, other eatable substitutes, the taste of the people has diverted from rice. Number 3, the competitors imported new technology machines. The competitor has new imported machines which are producing better quality rice. Number 4, due to the strain with neighboring countries' government, governments and our own government, the export is affected. Now the question is, in these four situations, you are asked to identify the business environment. Identify the respective business environment. Identify the respective business environment in all these four situations. Take number 1. We go a little bit quicker on this. On account of increase in export duty made by the government, the foreign demand has gone down. Export duty, there is a change in the export duties. Now, this is when there is a change in export duties. It is directly matter of economical environment. So, it is an economic environment. I will write here ENV, that is environment, ENV. Next is due to availability, this economic environment, answer is economic environment. Due to availability of other eatable substitutes, the taste of people has diverted from rice. In the society, the people have diverted from rice. So this is nothing but a social environment. So social ENV, that is environment. ENV, here ENV, as I already told you, it's environment. Third, the competitor has new imported machines which are producing better quality rice. New imported machines, that means it is talking about what? Is it talking about technological? New imported machines? Yes, you got it right. It is technological. It is talking about technological environment. ENV, technological environment. And the last one, due to the strain with neighboring countries' government and our own government, the export is affected. What is this strain? Change in the political situations. So definitely this cannot be technological, this cannot be social, this cannot be economical, this cannot be legal, but this will be, what is the thing? Political, yes. Political environment, political ENV. So this is political environment. Here all ENV means political environment. ENV is all environment. Please don't forget this. Here ENV, I have marked because the space is short, so I have written ENV, that is called environment. So in today's class, dear students, in today's class, I have just taught you in detail, I have just explained in detail what are the dimensions of business environment. See, this is a top subtopic for the dimensions of business environment. All those dimensions we took, the general dimensions which can have its impact on any business, like technological environment, economical environment, social environment, legal environment, and political environment. And then we just discussed on all these things, all the small factors which are in each of the environments, and then we gave you 3 case studies to do it. And now, the last but not the least, as I have recapitulated also, and then finally I want to tell you that study this lesson well, and I am going to upload your assignments from this particular lecture, and it will be uploaded shortly on the ERP. So complete your assignments and send it back to me. So thank you very much. Thank you.